Lauren here from Makeup by Lauren, and this is my first ever YouTube video. I have decided after much debate and much kind of putting it off and being embarrassed and shy that I would start doing YouTube tutorials. Lots of my friends, clients, husband, everybody's been pushing me to do this for a long time, so I've just bitten the bullet and decided to go for it. As part of my first video, I have decided to incorporate the Pippa Palette. The Pippa Palette has been created by one of the Irish bloggers, Pippa O'Connor. She is probably the leading, or one of the leading Irish bloggers on the market in Ireland at the moment. She's a national treasure. Everyone loves her, from young to older. Mums, daughters, grannies, everyone loves Pippa O'Connor. So for this tutorial, I'm going to do an easy to follow smoky eye, which could be used for daytime, but is a little bit more of a nighttime look. So I'm popping a little bit of concealer on my eyelids. The reason that I'm doing this is it is a really great way to conceal any kind of discoloration on your eyelids, but it also helps to get your eyeshadow to really stick to the lids and keeps it nice and vibrant. So just blending that all in there with a little small concealer brush. So the first shade that I'm using out of the Pippa palette is the Tobi shade. I'm using this as a transition shade. So this will help your darker colours blend seamlessly into your lighter colours. And I'm just using this in the crease of the eye. I'm applying this using a fluffy brush and applying it back and forth in window wiper motions. If you apply small amounts of colour at a time, you'll be able to control how deep or how light your colour is. So you don't have to apply as much if you don't want to. And just gently fluffing it out. Apply the majority of the colour into the crease and then gently fluff it up towards the brow bone until it blends seamlessly. The next shade that I'm going in with is Dodo. And I'm packing this on in patting motions. This will ensure that you get a really deep, opaque coverage with this colour. Don't worry if you get any fall down because we're going to clean this up later on. So just packing that onto the lid and trying to get it into the kind of eyelid shape. But don't worry if it's not perfect because we're going to blend that into the Tobi shade. So building up that colour, applying more if you want, applying less if you want to either. And I'm just using the tip of the brush to kind of wing out the edge of that. And just deepening up that colour where you feel it needs a little bit more coverage. Going in with my first brush now, I'm just blending the two together. So back and forth motions, and if I feel that a little bit of Tobi needs to be brought back in, I'm going to bring it back in. Right now I'm using the Ollie shade just to blend out the tip of that Tobi shade. I felt it was a little bit high, so just using that colour, I'm just blending it down a slight bit. The best advice I could give when doing a smoky eye is to just constantly keep going in with small amounts of colour and blending until it feels right. There's a fine line between blending too much and blending just the right amount. If you blend too much, the colours are just going to be all one colour and it's going to look a little bit muddy. You still want to transition between the three colours. So just small amounts at a time and a little bit of patience is all you need. If you ever feel like you've gone up a little bit too high with your colour or it's looking a little bit dark, go in with the colour that you were using before, the slightly lighter colour, and blend it down. So I'm just applying a liquid liner now. Don't panic if you can't do this straight away. I've been doing this for years and that's the only reason that I can get it in one go. And I even get days where it's not perfect. If you want, you can go in with the KD shade from the Pippa palette on an angled brush and just pop it into the lash line. So just press it into the lash line to create a kind of a deep colour at the root. And this will give a liner effect. And then when you feel confident enough, you can go in with your liquid liner. If you want, I'll do a tutorial on this. I've absolutely no problem doing that. I'm so used to wearing liquid liner and I wear it every single day. Now I'm doing the exact same then on the other eye. I've already cleaned up the fallout from underneath my eye and I just used a little cotton pad with some micellar water. But just use whatever cleanser you normally use to clean up underneath. And now I'm deepening up the bottom lash line. Again, this is a part that you can skip if you don't like wearing eyeshadow on your bottom lash line. I have quite small eyes and I find if I smoke it right out on the bottom lash line, it actually makes them look larger rather than smaller. So I'm just going in with the same colours that I used on the top. So going in with the Tobi shade and just pressing that onto the bottom lash line and fluffing it out. I've gone in with my slightly larger brush just to get a nice blend. Find smaller brushes, sometimes you don't get as much of a blend, you just kind of get colour packed on, and a bigger fluffy brush you get more of a blend. But because I haven't got my foundation on yet, I can always dull it down if it's a little bit too far down on the cheeks. And just apply enough until you feel that it's right for you. So I'm going in a little bit with the Lulu shade just into the inner corner to create my inner corner highlight. This will create a wide awake look, even if you've only had 4 hours sleep. I'm just applying a little bit of mascara. I have a couple of little mink lashes left on my eyes, which is why they look a little bit long. I've popped some false lashes on as well. And now I'm going into my skin. My skin is quite broken out at the moment, and I find foundation wise, I like quite a full coverage foundation. Now it might not be your cup of tea, and that's absolutely fine if you don't want to wear it as heavy as I wear it. And you can also skip the highlighting steps like I've done as well. But just for my personal preference, this is how I like to wear it. And I can slow it down and do a proper in-depth foundation routine if you'd like as well. I'm just buffing that all out with a beauty blender. Small little fluffy brush from blank canvas. And I'm just setting underneath my eyes with some loose powder. And anywhere that kind of tends to get shiny. I have really oily skin, so I tend to powder all over my face, and I just kind of pack it in on the areas like my T-zone, as this can get really oily, and I just gently dust it over the rest of my face just to make it all look seamless. I'm now going in with the Amour shade, and I'm going right underneath my cheekbone with that in a straight line on a little blusher brush, and I'm just going to fluff it upwards gently. If you blend it downwards, you're going to give your face a little bit more of a masculine look, whereas if you blend it upwards, you're going to give a really nice feminine look to your face. But again, do your contour or your bronzer the exact way that you like to do it. I like to bronze a little bit on my forehead just to make it appear a little bit more slim or smaller, as I have quite a large forehead, and I like to do a little bit in my temples as well. And I always go under my jaw as well, because I have quite a sharp square jaw, just to slim down my face. But if you don't have that problem, then don't worry about that. Now I'm going in with my Pipsy shade. Generally with blusher, you apply it onto the apples of your cheeks and apply it outwards, but I find that that makes my face look a little bit too round. So I apply it just kind of between my top of my cheekbone and underneath. So kind of between where you'd apply your highlighter and where you'd apply your bronzer. And I find that that just works for my face. But you can apply your blusher wherever you feel that it looks best on you. And I'm going back in now using my Lulu shade. And I'm going to apply that directly on the top of my cheekbone. And this will catch the light really nicely, and it will draw the attention to your cheekbones. So it will automatically make your face look slimmer. You want to apply highlighter anywhere that you want to stand out. So I apply it onto the tops of my cheekbones, a little bit above my eyebrows, just to draw the attention to there, a little bit on the tip of my nose and down the bridge, on my cupid's bow. And now I'm just finishing off with lips. So I'm just lining with a dark nude liner. And a matte liquid lipstick. And I finish off with a light mist of fixing spray. And that's it done. With the Pippa palette, I don't like to kind of spend money on things unless I 100% know that they're really good, or that a friend or colleague or somebody in the makeup business has recommended to me. And the Pippa palette, although it's €34.99, so it's €35, it's not overly expensive for a palette when you consider that you get your bronzer, your highlighter, your blusher and 6 eyeshadows. I've been using it now for probably 3 months, and as you can see, I've already hit pan on one of the colours, which is my absolute favourite out of this palette, and you can see it's a bit battered and it's a bit wrecked, but how can you do a proper review if it's not been properly used? So I'll just go through the pros, what I really like about this palette. So what I really like about this palette is the range of colours you've got. So they're all your kind of browns, some of them are warm toned, some of them are cool toned. You've got your kind of white shade, you've got your black shade, so you can do anything from as light to as smoky as you want. And because there's no shimmers in these eyeshadows, they're really nice for kind of a more mature skin or somebody that doesn't like anything too sparkly or too shimmery. Shimmers can sometimes show up imperfections on the eyes, so if you have crow's feet or if you have kind of crepey eyelids or anything like that, it will show up any imperfections. But that's not to say that you can't use shimmers if you have any of those kind of problems with your eyes. But this would be something that would be excellent for a mature kind of a lady or somebody that's actually starting off with makeup, so could absolutely work your way with this. So you can do so much with it. As well as your eyeshadows here, you can actually use these shades as eyeshadows as well, and I often use this one as an inner corner highlight. I use this one as a transition shade sometimes, so in your crease area, and you could definitely incorporate that pink in if you wanted to go for a little bit more of a rosy romantic look on the eyes, which is fabulous. One of the things that I wasn't 100% loving about this palette was the pigmentation of the colours. I have the Master Series palette from Blank Canvas and it is absolutely amazing. The pigmentation is just so strong, but the colours are so buttery, so when you apply it, if you apply a little bit too much with the Master Series palette, you can just buff it out and it's so easy. It makes blending a dream. Whereas with the Pippa palette, I found that they weren't quite as pigmented, which meant that if I was kind of blending, I felt like I was kind of erasing the colour rather than blending it out. So when I applied my kind of darker shade to my lid and started blending the two together, I felt that I was actually rubbing out some of the darker shade, which made the eyeshadows look a little bit washy. It was just a little bit more difficult to work with. But that being said, they are fabulous eyeshadows and I've hit pan on some of the colour, so I obviously do love it. With a lot of my clients, they love this palette because they can take it on holidays with them. It is fabulous if you don't want to pack a load of different palettes, or you've got your favourite blush, your favourite highlighter, your favourite bronzer, and then maybe 2 or 3 eyeshadows that you really like. This literally will fit into your luggage, it'll fit into your handbag. It's really light, it's not a big heavy palette, it's not like a naked palette, it's not as heavy as that. And if you keep your eye on blankcanvas.com, or if you know somebody that has tickets to a beauty show or anything like that, you can definitely pick it up cheaper than $34.99, but it is really good quality. It is really cute packaging. It comes with a full-size mirror in it, which is great because you can just do your makeup on the go. If you're anything like me though, it needs a wipe in between goes. But yeah, that's what I felt. And if you'd like to see more looks like this, or you'd like to see more reviews or more tutorials, hit subscribe, hit like, let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your feedback. And as I said, it was my first video, so please be nice, go easy on me, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!